Hi everyone, long time no see. It feels like it's been, what, a decade? But the truth of the matter is, now that the website is up, which this sort of serves as a formal declaration, as if the last video didn't, right? And speaking of that video, which I think it's so funny that there's so many thumbs down on it, I'm like, it's just race cars, calm down, like, I'm just having a little fun. But yeah, I've spent the last month working on the website, and I've never made a website before, so it was kind of, learning about formatting and, image size and seeing what works and, building pages and that sort of thing. And it was amazing. It was super fun. It was a great learning experience. It's definitely, I'm glad that I decided to sort of just do it the hard way, I guess, versus, picking a template that was already designed and then just putting my information in it, or, paying someone to do it. And it's not any discredit to website designers, but I just knew exactly what I wanted, and it's all about the little details on the website, and that's just because that's how I am. The website is essentially the living room come to life, right? So, but yeah, people obviously, I guess, don't like the race cars, which I think is so funny because I think it's fun, and if they want to put me in a box, they can, but good luck. I'm not stopping YouTube or anything like that, but I really wanted to kind of do, this is going to be a long one. I'm trying this new setup where I'm sitting at my kind of actually breakfast table, and I've got all my products sort of sitting here so I can see them, and getting the background, I think, like this actually makes more sense because it's hard to sort of really let the living room do the talking. Do you know what I mean? When you're kind of crammed into a corner. Anyway, so I wanted to just sort of talk about what's been going on, products that I've been using and really loving. I was supposed to sit down and I actually set the products out to film the June favorites at the very end of the month, but I just got too caught up in, like, it was right at the same time where I was like, I need to do a new website. I have to build it. And then my mind and my attention immediately shifted, and I just went immediately and got to work on that. So I really didn't get time to sort of share with you what I've loved from June in a way that was kind of good, because it meant that I could kind of continue using all of those products, and then from there finding out what I really truly did love, and then sort of incorporating products that sort of came in from, the beginning of June till right now, which is about 2 months' time. So there's a lot to talk about, but I think I really just want to focus, at least on this video, on talking about products that I really enjoyed using versus just things that came in that I'm just sort of updating you on. At least for now, because there was sort of a break in our traditional, like, monthly process of doing it. The nice thing about having this new website, though, is I'll be able to kind of incorporate all of my videos onto it. So if you are looking, if you're watching a video and, you see me talking about a certain product, you can immediately go into the search bar and type it in to see if there's, more information on it. I'm working, mentally it's hard for me to kind of write individual product reviews, one after the other, because I tend to sort of like to switch it up, and I don't think I'm as good of a writer as I am, a verbal expressionist. So sometimes I find it hard to sort of really say what I want to say in the way that I would say it versus the way that I plan to say it, if that makes sense. But the nice thing is, it'll be a single source where you can go to if you are, curious about a certain product, or, you are looking for a certain photo, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, and I think I talked about this somewhere, I think it's the Hi, I'm Chris page, where I say that I'm an artist by instinct and a blogger by choice, and that's how that sort of mindset is really what this newfound confidence has come from, and I feel great about it. But just sort of trusting my artistic gut and not putting myself in a traditional blogger box, with, pictures that sort of look like they could be on 30 different people's page. You know what I mean? I want to do something that's different, something that's fun. We're talking about beauty products, for goodness sake. It's not life and death. So having an element of fun and an element of lightheartedness I think is just important. I think it's important not to get too bogged down by it all. Oh, and I'm toying with the idea of doing potentially, instead of writing individual product reviews, doing video product reviews that'll only be on the website, because I think with YouTube I tend to focus more on overviews, whereas the blog can be more dedicated to just single products. But they could be featured with pictures, or maybe I could do, you know, a video review and then do some written details like ingredients and that sort of thing. So if that sounds fun or interesting, maybe we can give it a try and see if it works and see if I can keep up with it. I mean, I'm doing all of this during summer when I don't have school to worry about, but once school starts, I mean, I'll be busy, you know, every single day, so we'll see. So looking at all these products now, I'm gonna have to split this into 2 parts. Let's start with cleansers. So I was sent a really amazing package from Beauty Mart, and they are a retailer that carries Suman, and Suman is a brand that I've heard about you know, a few years ago. I think it was through Caroline, and she talked about the Purifying Cleansing Gel Oil, and it always sort of intrigued me because any sort of multi-phase cleanser I was very into a couple years ago. Now, not as much. I find that I'm a little bit more picky, but the nice thing about this is it doesn't feel like any tri-phase cleanser that I've ever used before. It really does feel kind of creamier, and I want to show you what it looks like. Got paper towels ready. This is so much nicer sitting at a table versus like leaning on the couch. Okay, so it's got like a creaminess to it, if you can see. And when you massage it, it feels very like dense gel, like almost like a gel balm kind of consistency. If you've used the Hydra melting cleanser from Moravitsa, or even like the Ulla Henriksen, the Pure Truth, feels kind of similar. But this one, when you completely kind of change its phase, it really will turn into an oil. You just have to keep massaging. Eventually the kind of the resistance to slip goes away, and then you've just got nothing but oil. Also, this cleanser emulsifies easier than any cleanser I've ever used in my entire life. I'm gonna dip my finger in a cup of water and just show you, like, just by adding like a little bit, it completely turns into a milk. So this is really nice if you like a more conditioning cleanser in the morning, but you don't want to have to fuss with like going through 8 washcloths to get everything off, because this one you can emulsify off. So I tend to start all over my face before I get in the shower, jump in the shower, steam it or whatever, and then I'll emulsify it off. It's great before shaving too, if it really softens the hair. But it's one of the tri-phase cleansers that doesn't leave a film, which is what I found most of them tend to do as I played with a couple more. It takes off makeup beautifully, as it's claiming that it does. The smell reminds me of like a Hallmark store. I don't know why, but it's very like not frangipani, but like Tahitian, like tiare flower, that kind of like white floral smell. It's really nice. So that's been really nice. Also, Lindstrom launched the Pendulum Potion. So the second that it came out, you know, I was on the website placing my order. Unlike any product I've ever used, but I feel like that's, Lindstrom is so predictably unpredictable in that you know she's going to do something beautiful and amazing and thoughtful, but you don't know what it's going to be. You have no idea. You can't pin it down, and I think that's what's so magical. This is really smoky. It smells like almost like burnt campfire wood, and like a Middle Eastern spice market. It has like almost a bittery kind of spice, herbaceous kind of thing going on. It does remove makeup, but I'm not going to use it for that, let's be very fair. It's the kind of thing that I really like to massage. Really pretty, kind of richer golden green oil, and there's actually some sort of little tiny specks. It almost looks like spices floating in it. You're supposed to shake it really well, so that could be... It has like almost like an oud wood, like burnt amazingness to it. It's much thinner than I thought it was going to be. It really does like kind of slip and slide along the skin. I would kind of relate it to, it feels similar to like a Votary cleansing oil, but a little bit thinner, and it has enough slip where it really glides over the skin, but it feels like you can still feel your skin underneath the oil, if that makes sense. Like you still feel like you're in contact with your skin, not just the oil. So it doesn't, I found it actually emulsified, but I don't know, and I FaceTimed with Liz when we were doing it the first time together, and the thought was that maybe when adding the water helps the oil emulsify the products that are on your skin but I definitely saw some emulsification on the first cleanse, but when I did the second cleanse and added water, no emulsification happened. So I'm not sure what kind of magic is in there, but it does emulsify lightly if you're taking off makeup. My eyes don't tend to like it if I get it in there. That's what I've noticed so far. And I've only used it a handful of times, so we'll continue to play and see, but yeah, just something to know. Next, let's do toners. So this is from Apoterra. This is the Neroli Clarifying Toner, and they're saying with vitamin C and green tea. Now, it looks like it is distillates of Neroli, Immortelle, rock rose, thyme, green tea, and water. And there's also aloe, willow bark, glycerin, phospholipid, it's sodium ascorbyl phosphate, niacinamide, and radish root ferment filtrate, which, if I'm not mistaken, helps to preserve it a little bit. This is one of those Nerolis that is very medicinal smelling. If you've smelled the Votary Toning Serum, it smells kind of similar. It says that it's for oily and acne-prone skin, and I'm sure it would be great for that. I mean, Neroli has some antibacterial, antiseptic kind of qualities to it. But I find that this is just the kind of thing that I just want to spray my entire head to toe with. And I've done it a few times, and it's actually pretty nice. So if you're just a Neroli fiend like me and you just want a Neroli mist you can spray everywhere, I think this is a way to do it where it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and the ingredients are, if you're a fan of green beauty, are quite nice. It does have the vitamin C, I'm not sure how much, and it's likely just to be an antioxidant, but it feels very, yeah, it's that bitter Neroli, where it's like slightly, you don't really get that petit grain or oranginess, it's that bitter kind of Neroli flower, which I really like. Yeah, I mean, as a toner, it's nice, but also as an all-over mist, I know that's not what they're saying to use it for, but external use only, I'm not eating it, so. Next, we've got Planted in Beauty by Well Within. This is the toning lotion. Not what I was expecting, and so much more intriguing than I was expecting. So it's actually blue. There is lots of chamomile in it, and it feels like a serum. Like, it feels like a very, very thin, like aloe-based serum. And so they're saying toning lotion, so I do apply it after cleansing, but I could almost, if I was just hanging out at home, could almost just put an oil on after and be fine. The scent is soothing. The application is very, very hydrating. Like, it's very, I would still say it's hydrating. I wouldn't call it like moisturizing per se. Like, I don't feel like I can just not put anything else on and then be okay. I would still need like an oil or something to kind of, something emollient. But if you have maybe an oilier skin and you're looking for really lightweight hydration, you could ideally, and theoretically just throw this on, toss a sunscreen on, and maybe be good, for the day. So that's quite nice because there are a lot of good ingredients in it. It's lots of soothing plant extracts and hydrating ingredients. There's no, I remember seeing natural fragrance listed on the ingredients, but it's not a fragrance that lingers. The packaging is nice, it's airtight, and it's a pump. So they say with a cotton pad, but I just squirt it into my hands and slap it on my face and go. Next, we've got Serum. So this is Dr. Roebuck's Ultimate Hydrating Serum. And this, first of all, the little literature that they include on the inside, this just made me flip out. Squeeze dropper outside of the bottle to release air before inserting into product to draw serum for maximum result. Why that has never occurred to me in my entire existence is insane, but it makes so much sense, and I've started doing that with all of my serums. So Dr. Roebucks taught me that, and for that I will forever be grateful. I did find it pilled up slightly when I waited too long in between my toner and serum application. So if you put it on while your skin is still damp, you're fine, which is unfortunate, but it is something you can get around. But the thing that I really enjoyed about this is, yes, it was quite hydrating. It's a little richer than a traditional kind of just like hydrating, clear gel serum. It almost looks like it could have a little oil in it. Yeah, there's a little bit of oil, so it's more of an emulsiony gel. But this has vitamin C, it's ascorbyl glucoside, creatine, glycerin, sodium hyaluronate, retinol, carnosine, peptide, CoQ10 peptide, niacinamide, squalane, vitamin E, lecithin, vitamin E. So this could be quite nice if you were sort of new to serums and you were just looking for one that sort of just did a little bit of everything. It's not like you would buy this because you were looking for the strongest retinol ever, but that's not what they're saying it's for. And you know, all of the ingredients that are in here are going to give you just a little bit of everything. So it could be a nice way to get like a balanced diet, if you will, if you're just looking to kind of have a daily serum. I know they make a lot of other serums as well, and they're coming out with new ones. I mean, they only recently just launched in the US, and so I was excited that they reached out. But yeah, I mean, I've used quite a bit right now, but I would say I've used yay much. Next we've got APTO. This is the Pore Purifier Serum. It's a very thoughtful formula. There's a lot of ingredients that are sort of thought to improve the quality of the skin in terms of texture and sort of cleanliness of the pore, if you will. Pumpkin, trace elements, there's copper, magnesium, aluminum silicate, so it has sort of a more kind of velvety finish. There's a little lactic acid, which is antibacterial and does exfoliate on the surface. It's also hydrating, which I think is really important because I think if you're trying to treat blemishes and congestion, it's so important not to forget hydration, right? It's a really nice thin consistency. So this is the kind of thing that I reach for if I'm just noticing that my skin looks a little dull, a little kind of clogged, or a little lazy. You know, if I see a giant zit on my face like I've got right now, I'm reaching for, you know, a BHA9 or the Tata Harper spot treatment or something like that, where it's targeted. But if I'm just noticing overall that I could, you know, see an improvement in pore size and texture and glow, it's nice. And I think it has a lot of different approaches to what they're trying to achieve, and I find that it just improves the quality of my skin overall. And even when I'm not having an oily day, if I just need something to sort of make my skin feel and look a little cleaner, that's what I'm reaching for. So that's been lovely. So vitamin C, still using it, but I've cheated the system a bit. So I absolutely love the Drunk Elephant C-Firma. I know that when I did my vitamin C post, that I did not speak favorably of the old formula, but Tiffany actually reached out and sent me the new one to give a try, and she said I would love it, and she was right. I like it a lot. It does not dry my skin out the way the old formula did. I still mix it with a little hydrating serum because that's just what I do, but it really just makes my skin really nice and even toned. It gives it a gorgeous glow, and it's the kind of glow where truly it looks like it's coming from behind the skin, not on top of it. And that's all you can ask for, right? The only thing though, and it's a personal thing, the smell of vitamin C plus ferulic acid, I can't take it because I can smell it on my hands for the rest of the day, and I can just smell it like around me, and it makes me think that I have like body odor or something. And I know that it's fine and it's great for my skin. It does stay in your system for 72 hours. So I'm cheating a little bit. I'll use it sort of like, you know, a couple times a week, and then on the days that I'm not, I'm using something like the Glossier Super Glow. It's a completely different form of C. It's not L-ascorbic, but I think as an antioxidant and just introducing vitamin C into the system and ensuring that my tone is nice and even and that my skin stays glowy and stays smooth, it's nice. And this is obviously not what I'm reaching for if I'm expecting the most potent C in the world, and they're not intending for it to be either. But it's a way for me to use this and get all the benefits of, like, you know, what L-ascorbic has shown is effective and you know, will do for the skin, but just sort of making the blow to my face a little bit easier, if you will. If that makes sense. It's all a personal thing. It's all a personal thing. Now let's do eye serum. So, as you know, The Ordinary is huge. Everyone loves The Ordinary. Everyone's asking about it at all times, blah, 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 blah. If anyone asks how I feel about it, I'll just link them to Caroline Hyman's, Renee Gothamista's videos, or Stephanie Nicole's posts, because they've said everything that I could ever want to say, and so there's no point in me doing it because they said it better than I could have, because I would have gotten too annoyed. I think The Ordinary is great. I think it's, you know, if you are wanting to experiment with different ingredients and different, you know, vitamins or different acids, and you don't want to make a huge investment in it, and you still want to get a a formula that has quality to it, it's amazing. And what they've done is truly revolutionary, and I applaud them for that. I think it's amazing, but I also think the website doesn't explain enough what the difference between each ingredient is in a way that people who aren't informed of skincare can really understand. But the price and, you know, the ingredient shout outs are what bring in everyone's attention. You know, people who like skincare and people who don't know anything about skincare, they're all going to be drawn to it. So I think, you know, by doing that and then not explaining what the difference is, I do just wish the website was a little bit more informative and kind of educated people who would be drawn to the website for the price but don't know what to buy. Because anytime I tell my friends about it, they're like, wait, please tell me exactly what to get because I don't know. This is so confusing. And that's just my, you know, my bone to pick with them. But Caffeine Solution 5% plus ECGC. As soon as this video goes up, I'm putting this in greatest hits on the website because I've never in my life, ever, used an eye product that works as immediately as this. Now, there are certain instances, it's usually when I'm tired late at night and I've had something to drink, a lot to drink, and I get like, you know, kind of like, ooh, like how I look right now, like Crypt Keeper-ish, right? I put this on, and you literally, the first time I used it, I watched my darkness like wipe away as I massaged it into my skin. And it's also not superficial. Like, it's not like one of those film forming kind of eye gels that just kind of gets rid of wrinkles for 15 minutes. You know, it is, I massaged it on and I saw the darkness from inside my skin dissipate. Now, it wasn't like it 100% went away, but it did make it look better. I ordered this at the very end of May. It got here at the beginning of June. So since then, I've been using it almost every single day. I used it this morning, I used it yesterday morning. It's a full ounce. I think it was around $7, $7 or $8. I got mine from Beautylish. You still have to put an eye cream on top, but I'm like, I don't care. If my darkness and my puffiness, and that's also the other thing, it does kind of pull the skin taut ever so slightly, not in a film former way, but just like in a caffeine way, where you just notice that the texture is a little bit smoother and a little less puffy. But anything to make me look a little bit more awake in the morning, I'll take, you know, and